Facebook. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome, friends and neighbors. I'm Tyler Keefe. Thank you for joining us. All eyes are on high school sports this week as student athletes sign their national letters of intent to continue playing their respective sports at the collegiate level. Close to home, Laker football players at West Bloomfield High School made their choices official earlier on this week in the I-Center. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff has the scoop.
Over the years, you've watched these players make a huge name for themselves on the football field and on Civic Center TV with This Week in Laker Football. But just recently, 3 of West Bloomfield's biggest football stars just signed their letters of intent to continue playing ball at the collegiate level. It was a powerful and emotional day for all of these players as they've grown up playing the sport together and are excited to see where their careers take them.
It's just a real feeling, to be honest. You know, I feel like I worked very hard for this moment. All the hard working days, long nights, the long summer days. I feel like, it was a long time coming. So now I'm very appreciative for this, to be signing with Minnesota and for them to give me this opportunity.
It's kind of a big deal for me, and it's a big deal for my family, and it feels good to me because it's been a dream since I've been a young boy. Even though it's FCS football, it's still Division I for me, and that's always been my dream, and that's what I pray to God for. So God giving me this opportunity, it's just a blessing in itself, and it's a blessing that everybody was here to watch me, everybody was here to support me and things of that nature. So it just feels good all around, and I'm a little bit anxious to go up there, of course. You know what I'm saying? You never know what the future holds, but I'm excited and I'm ready to work.
What does this mean to you to not only have this moment, but to be sharing it with 2 athletes that you've worked alongside with for so long?
Yeah, playing this game, I don't believe in teammates. I believe in brothers, and I feel like those are my brothers. I grew up with Will. We played on the Little League together. Travis, he came in as a sophomore, but, as soon as he came here, I accepted him in. I welcomed him with open arms, like he's one of my brothers as well. And, I love them guys to get to death. I'll do anything for them. On and off the field, this is not just the bonds that we make through the game. This is long-lasting relationships. And, I'll forever keep in touch with these guys, make sure they straight. All my teammates are the same with all of them, too. They all my brothers, and that's kind of what it is with me.
Jeremiah, I've known him since I was 8 years old. We've been playing football together since we was 8 years old. My first time playing in college is going to be my first time playing the game without him, actually. So it's kind of going to feel a little weird not seeing Jeremiah Benson down there on the line somewhere and getting it done. But these guys, they mean everything to me, and they're going to be my brothers forever and ever, and I promise that for real.
And your coach, Zach Hilbers, had many wonderful things to say about you and what you have brought to this Laker football team. What do you have to say to him and the support he's given you over your high school football career?
Coach Shivers is a really great coach. He coached me since my sophomore year when he stepped out as the head coach, and the whole team, all we did was support him. He's a great person. He helped me out so much with my recruiting. He taught the coaches for me. He validated for me. He really spoke highly of me, and I can say the same for him. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. And, I wish nothing but the best for him in his future at West Bloomfield High School, and I hope he, get that state championship.
The thing about this school and the thing about this program is the people that came through before me, they was all dogs, honestly, if I'm going to be honest. From the 5 years before me and even going on to guys like Trey Mosley, Donovan Edwards, and things of that nature, all of those guys had something in them that was just different from the guys that they were competing against. And that's kind of what I want to take to the college level, just so the guys, when they see me in training camp, they know that I got it and they just don't, that I just got it more than them.
Best of luck to all three of these athletes, and hope to see them in the NFL one day, possibly holding up that Super Bowl trophy. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Big congratulations to all three of those athletes, key to the West Bloomfield Lakers' bounce-back season in 2025. Of course, it didn't end the way they would have liked their high school careers to have concluded, with a state championship or at least competing further into the playoffs. But those were three impact players, beginning, of course, with Will Espy in all three phases, switching onto the offensive side this year, taking on a new role and being one of the best and most prolific scorers on this football team for West Bloomfield in 2025. Congratulations to him, and Mercy Hurst for picking up a great three-way player. Also, of course, to Jeremiah Benson, heading into the Big Ten to play at the University of Minnesota under PJ Flack. He's going to be a big part of that defense going forward, a defense that showed a lot of improvement in 2025. Now, if you follow Laker football with our team, and we know you do, thousands of people across Greater West Bloomfield and around Michigan follow this team all throughout the season. So if you've been following along, you may have noticed a little bit of a surprise in some of the details of that story, as offensive and defensive lineman Travis Robertson had originally committed to play football at Bowling Green State University, then flipping from the MAC into the Big Ten, committing to UCLA midway through the season. Well, just prior to signing his national letter of intent, Travis chose to go with his original commitment and head off to play for NFL legend Eddie George at BGSU. Robertson told our team that his decision came down to, frankly, just distance from home. He ultimately wanted to be closer to his family. He holds them very near and dear, as he's told us in recent years at OAA Football Media Day. And of course, BGSU welcoming him back into the fold with open arms as he signed his national letter of intent. In that video, if you look back in that story later on today on CivicCenterTV.com, you'll see Travis was decked out in UCLA gear, did the old switcheroo in the Eye Center, a little bit of entertainment value to a pretty straightforward ceremony that happens all throughout the year. Congratulations to all the Laker athletes who have recently committed to play at the collegiate level. You can find more information on them on westbloomfieldathletics.com, or of course, follow the West Bloomfield School District on their social media, at West Bloomfield Schools on Facebook and at W Bloomfield Schools on Instagram. Give these athletes your congratulations. On Friday night, you will find all the local celebs in Kego Harbor as the Lodge opens its doors to the Tom Kowalski Foundation for its annual Killers Christmas fundraiser. Special celebrity bartenders will be greeting you all throughout the night, plus a chance at a number of cool prizes. All the proceeds support local organizations such as Team Joseph, Filling Kids Plates, Defeat the Label, and the Downtown Boxing Gym as well. Not only supporting those organizations, but opening the doors to people to see some of the best of Kego Harbor and the Tri-Cities right here close to home in Greater West Bloomfield. Doors open at 4 p.m. and it's free to enter. If you want to learn more about Killers Christmas, visit their website, killercares.org, or watch our recent segment with Matt Riley from the Tom Kowalski Foundation, who told us all the details, the history of the event leading up to what's now the 15th year this has been taking place, and the 15th year it is called Kego Harbor Home. That's all on CivicCenterTV.com. Visit our on-demand section for that and even more news close to home. Step back in time and discover some of the best games of yesteryear with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society at their Vintage Games Open House next week, Sunday, December 14th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Museum, up at the corner of Long Lake and Orchard Lake. You'll have the chance to learn about classic toys with expert docents and volunteers, and learn about the most recent inductees into the Strong's National Toy Hall of Fame. Admission to the event is free. Come on. You want to donate, help the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society continue on with all this research, gathering all these different artifacts and information to help you learn more about history right here in our home community. Learn more and mark your calendars for future events on gwbhs.org. This holiday season, shop local and support your neighbors and hometown businesses. The West Bloomfield Library has a one-stop shop to find those perfect original gifts from makers all throughout the community. Coming up on Saturday, December 13th at the Main from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here to tell us more is Community Engagement Librarian Emily Tobin from the West Bloomfield Library. Emily, welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you on to talk about this, because this time of the year we hear it so much. Shop local, shop local. Hey, don't go to the big box stores first. Start with your local sellers. So how does the library factor in? What was the motivation behind bringing this particular event to our library?
So this is our second year doing this event, and a lot of libraries around the country do shop small events, and it's a way to, break out into the community and support local makers in the building. And I think I was listening to the radio the other day, and if you shop local within Michigan, $83 stay in the Michigan economy for every $100 that you spend. So we at the library want to do our part and showcase some of the creative talent in West Bloomfield and the surrounding areas while keeping money in the state of Michigan.
An old friend of mine from college, he runs a small marketing agency, and he just posted over the weekend that his company just now went over $500 in their bank account for the first time in years after some recent sales, and mentioned that shopping local really does have that impact. Each and every one of those dollars, frankly, helps these businesses stay alive. So Emily, as the library is organizing this event, how do you gauge which are the businesses that truly are fitting that shop local mentality, making those original works, and bring them into the fold for something like this?
So we do have an application process. The application goes up, and it stays up for about 2.5 months, and then we notify the people that are going to be in the shop small. But we want to make sure that the goods that we are featuring we prioritize West Bloomfield, Kigo, those artists, and we want to make sure that all of the things that we are showcasing are actually handmade. So we don't do any like multi-level marketing or there's a lot of like jewelry that like you can, that is like prefabricated and then like permanent jewelry that you can, just put on. We want to make sure that all of the pieces are unique and actually made by hand by somebody in our community, because that's what makes these kind of events special.
And I'd imagine too, as you mentioned, there's so many different artists in Kigo Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, especially those Tri-Cities with the Art Sale Collective, but even in West Bloomfield and nearby areas to our township here that are so creative and are making these original works and do love to go to events like this to showcase that to the community and hopefully make some sales along the way as well. I'd imagine that makes it a bit of a tough choice for the library as you narrow down these few sellers.
It does. I try to get a variety of different things. We have a great variety actually this year. We have miniature paintings, we have fabric baskets, we have someone that's doing homemade baked goods they have a cottage license for their kitchen. We have diamond painting, we have ceramics, we have someone that does like bookish items like covers for your Kindle, bookmarks, block painting, greeting cards. We have a couple of jewelry people, handmade lamps, mosaics. We have these awesome little wooden birds that hold your glasses. So we have all kinds of different items, really something for everybody.
The Shop Small Maker event with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is happening Saturday, December 13th, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. The Shop Small Maker Mart, a great way to start your holiday shopping with a few days in advance and get some original works to bring home to you and yours this holiday season. A little extra heart behind those items when you shop from someone directly in your community, and you know exactly who put their tender, loving care into making those items that you're picking up. Emily Tobin is with us from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, their community engagement librarian. You can learn more about this event on West Bloom LIB across social media or on the website on wblib.org. Now, Emily, this is organized in partnership with the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. They're holding events all throughout the year. Fundraising is a huge part of their operations and also their ways of helping the West Bloomfield Library. So as you bring these small business owners, these artists into the library, and you work with the Friends of the West Bloomfield Library, how do you see the visions of small businesses in that community meshing or coalescing with the vision of the Friends of the Library to ultimately make this beneficial for everybody involved?
So the Friends of their Library, their mission really is to support the library with money for programming. All of that money goes from the book sales, goes back into the library for programming or collections that we wouldn't be able to fund normally with the library's budget. They also run a huge Giving Tuesday campaign. This year it's to put new furniture into the youth department. So there's like a new little like food truck, there's a new car, they're all big wooden play structures that they're looking to fund for that department. Last year it was for a huge playaway collection. So when they sponsor events like this Shop Small event, the makers pay a very small table fee, but they pay it to the Friends, and then the Friends use that kind of money to give right back to the library. And that goes back into our collections. It goes back into all the great programming that we do. So it's really kind of a symbiotic relationship.
And it all ends up being, as you said, that symbiotic relationship between the Friends of the Library, supporting library programs by bringing in these makers to this event and those small fees to be able to host your table at this event. And then, of course, they get the benefit of having the community get to know their business, get to know these incredible creatives in our community, and hopefully help with them with some patronage as well in the process. The Maker Mart is going to be happening at the library on Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Learn more on WBLIB.org. Emily Tobin is with us on the program today as we get ready for this particular event. Emily, earlier on you mentioned that this is the second year that this has been happening with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Are there any stories from the first year of maybe some of the sellers or even those shopping at this event that stand out to you and tell you just how important this really is to people in our community this holiday season?
Well, we have a couple of repeat vendors this year because they were so well loved. We had over 200 people come through the doors last year, which is really good for something that just started last year. We had a first-time vendor last year that it was his very first Maker Mart, and he almost sold out of product. He was a soap vendor. So those are the kind of stories that are great to hear. That it might be someone's first time doing a maker mart or like an art fair, and it gives them the opportunity to come to like a welcoming space and be able to kind of get their feet in the water.
And then beyond that, the vision of this event definitely fits within the library's mission going forward of getting more engaged with the community, being visible by directly interacting with different organizations, different communities, different groups of people in Greater West Bloomfield. So from your office onward, how does something like this fit that community engagement vision and really the library's overall vision for going forward as part of this community?
We're always looking for ways to take the library outside of the building, but this gets new people into our building to see, collections that we've added. I hear all the time in the building, I haven't been in here for such a long time. I see all these new things.
It appears we had a lost connection with Emily there for just a moment. Emily, are you still with us over there? Did we have a freeze? Master Control, if you can let me know in my ear. While we go on with that, WBLIB.org is their website for more information on this event and to see everything going on throughout the holiday season and into the new year at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. We'll take a quick break. We'll try to reconnect with Emily and be back after this. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. What people are watching in Sylvan Lake, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
Can't be late to your own party. Hurry up! Hurry up! Ah! Do not cut me off. It's her fault? Her fault? Ah! You kidding me? Honk, honk, honk! Honk, honk, honk! Honk, honk! Late! Out of my way! Honk! I hate construction!
You should have slowed down.
My party.
You wouldn't act this way in a store, so don't act this way on the road. Driving slower saves lives.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Apologize for the technical difficulties with Emily Tobin from the West Bloomfield Library. We're working on getting her reconnected, having some issues over there at the library temporarily. Hopefully we'll hear more from her in the next coming minutes. If not, highly encourage you to go to wblib.org or follow the library on social media at West Bloom LIB to learn more about their Shop Small Maker Fair happening on Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Main, and other events all throughout the rest of this year and, of course, into 2026 at the Main and the West Acres branches. The holiday season brings families together with loved ones near and far, but that can also make those special one-on-one moments with parents and their kids tougher to savor along the way. Close to home, West Bloomfield Parks held a special evening to keep those moments close and build core memories with local families. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff has the story.
Every single year, the great people at West Bloomfield Parks put together a little bit of family fun just in time for the holidays. And this year, the annual mother-son dance, high tops and high heels, did not disappoint. So many wonderful families came out to Glen Oaks to dance the night away and to also share some all-important family memories that will last a lifetime.
This is our second year, and we have really enjoyed ourselves. It's fun, it's memorable, and it's just a good time out with my little guy.
And what do you see in your son when he's spending this time with you and he's getting to dance with you and just have a night with you all to himself?
I see the twinkle in his eyes, and I see that baby that I first held on February 8th of 2016, and I see him growing and blossoming, and he's just everything to me.
Oh, he remembers it every year. He brings it up. He is the one who asks me each year if we're going to come back. So it's just a special time that he and I spend together. All the moms, all the kids are just having such a good time. And you guys have so many cool things for all different kids, right? You have kids who like to dance and they're outgoing. You have kids who love balloon animals and art and the photo booth and everything. So my son's a little quieter. So he enjoys all the other activities that you guys have. And I think that's pretty unique.
I mean, I feel like, November, December is all about family. And when you think about family, I think about being with my children, being with my husband. And so with it being November, December, and Thanksgiving is next week, Christmas is next month, it just makes me feel really, really happy.
What does it mean to be strengthening your own family unit by attending events like these?
It makes me realize that when I spend this quality time with my son, it is putting him out there into the world one day, understanding the importance of family. When we spend quality time like this, it makes him understand how important family truly is.
I think it's just a great blessing to be able to do this and build community bonds. And we actually came with some friends that we invited, and it's just been great to spend time with them in a different setting, and we've had a ball.
It helps bring to essence the meaning of community, coming together, gathering together, doing things together, laughing together, and making memories together.
Last question. What do you have to say to the great people at West Bloomfield Parks who put on events like this every single year?
West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, thank you so much. Thank you for creating an opportunity for us to come together, be together, and make memories. It's wonderful. Thank you.
It's one of those events that will put a smile on your face every time you attend. The High Tops and High Heels Mother-Son Dance event with West Bloomfield Parks puts together everything you want in a community event with fun, family, and priceless memories that these kids are going to take with them for many years to come. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
More information on future events with West Bloomfield Parks can be found on wbparks.org. And of course, this is an annual tradition with West Bloomfield Parks. So if you want to learn more about when High Tops and High Heels will be happening in 2026's holiday season, visit wbparks.org. Follow them on Facebook at wbparks or on Instagram at wb_parks for more information going forward. We have Emily Tobin from the West Bloomfield Library back with us on the Splash Live, talking about their Shop Small Maker Fair happening on Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Emily, welcome back. Thanks for being with us and sticking with us through these technical difficulties. Before we broke away for a moment, we were talking about community engagement, how important that is to the West Bloomfield Library. How does something like this, bringing in these local artists, these local small business, help fit that vision of what community engagement means for our local library system?
So as I was talking about before, we're always looking for ways to come out of the building and engage with the community. But this gives people an opportunity from other communities, maybe Farmington, Bloomfield, Waterford, to come into our building and to see all that the library has to offer them, or even patrons that haven't been in the building for a long time to see the new renovations that we've made. We have new spaces, we have new collections. To be able to engage with the library in a different way, and to see that we're not all just books. You know, we have lots of things going on. We have a lot of programs to offer, and a lot of new faces too in the building. A lot of new librarians and different things happening.
It's fairly obvious how that, of course, is helpful to the small businesses that will be participating in this. But for the future of the library, how important is it for that vision to be, as you said, that the library is more than just a place to go for books and information research?
As you know, things change. You know, people have, you know, switched to reading digitally. It hasn't switched as much as, you know, we thought it would. People still really like to hold a book, but as younger generations don't learn to hold a book, they learn to hold a device. The library needs to switch its focus to be a community space for everybody. So events like this, you know, bring the community together in our space and can provide a welcoming, safe space for everyone. And that's what the library should be. So doing events like this, or the local author fair or winter reading kickoff, which is also happening this Saturday, you know, it brings the community in the building and shows them that the library is more than just a house, you know, for books.
I gotta admit, I was on a plane a couple days ago, and the person sitting next to me had an e-reader with them. I kind of glanced over, tried to see, you know, if it was really any different than I thought reading from a physical book is. I can't look at a screen and read. I gotta hold the actual book itself. So the library won't go away for that reason alone, but these kinds of things help bring the library closer to people's hearts in 2025 when we're always getting dragged away by this stuff. Doesn't make any sense. Emily, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and we look forward to the Shop Small Maker Mart happening at the library very soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you on the Shop Small Maker event at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. You can find more information on that on WBLIB.org or follow them on social media at WestBloomLIB. Many things make the holidays special, but few things connect the masses in all communities like some holiday treats. Close to home in West Bloomfield, United Methodist Church is bringing the holiday spirit to you in the sweetest of ways with their holiday cookie walk happening Saturday, December 13th here in West Bloomfield. Joining us to tell us even more is Reverend Elizabeth Hurd from United Methodist Church in West Bloomfield. Reverend Hurd, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, glad to have you on as we get into the holiday spirit in Greater West Bloomfield. Of course, you're at one of our local churches, but this is a holiday event that kind of brings everybody in under the common attraction of some good old-fashioned cookies for the holiday season. Where did this tradition begin, and how does it help your church community connect with the greater community?
You know, you ask about the origins of this, and I'm not quite sure. I came on in, and they were like, "We've done a cookie walk forever," and we took a break for COVID, but brought this back in 2023, and it's just been a wonderful event each and every year to be a part of. And it really helps us connect with the community in a variety of ways. One, it opens our doors to people within the community, and I mean, we've had a lot of people call and say, "We're so excited. Are you doing this again this year?" So it is an event that there are folks in the community who look forward to. But also, all of the funds that we raise through the cookie walk go to our women's group here at West Bloomfield United Methodist Church, and they do a variety of things such as help us buy gift cards so we can help give food support in this time. They have bought books for local elementary school classrooms and have just really done a lot of really great missional and outreach work for the community as well.
And so as people come out to the cookie walk, what should they know about this? You mentioned that the proceeds from it go toward your women's group. Is there an admission fee for that, or is this all donation based?
So it's, I believe, $10 a pound for the cookies. So you can come on in and take as much as you want, but there is a fee for the cookies. There's no admission fee, so to speak, but you will have to pay that price. And then it doors open at 10 a.m. That's when we're going to allow people to walk through the cookie walk and take what they want. It really is first come, first serve. However, if you want to stop by the church a little earlier and get a number for the cookie walk, you can come in and get a number, and we honor those numbers. We also have the doors open earlier than 10. You can come and sit and or peruse and see. But yes, we're really excited for it. And right now, I mean, there's people in the church helping to make cookies as we speak. So we are very much working and getting ready for this.
And well in advance too. It's a big process to get all those cookies ready. As you said, people buying these by the pound. That's not atypical of cookie walks or similar events all throughout the Detroit area. I just read something recently with the Detroit Free Press saying that's a pretty common occurrence. And hey, if you're correct and it's $10 for a pound of cookies, look, you're giving a gift back to Santa on the big day. So leave out a little bit of that pound of cookies. You still got plenty more for the rest of the holiday season and into the new year. So Reverend Hurd, this is a big undertaking. You mentioned people are in your church right now getting ready for it. Just how big of a volunteer process is getting ready for this annual cookie walk?
Oh gosh, it is. I mean, we start talking about it in October, and people start thinking about what they're going to make and what they're going to bring. We start signing up volunteers in November. People sign up to bake cookies. They also, we don't just sell cookies at the cookie walk. There's also like canned stuff like pickles and stuff that we sell as well. So people are making that well in advance, planning all of that out when they're doing their canning. They're like, I'm going to set some aside for the cookie walk. Some people bake bread for it. So it really is this like huge undertaking, and that's just the making of the goods that we sell. We also have a lot of volunteers who set it up the morning of, who are weighing the cookies out, who are tallying the totals that people have, and just being the friendly faces that greet people as they walk through our church. So it really is an all-church undertaking. I think we do it on a Saturday, and then the next morning the same people come on into worship service.
And you wouldn't expect that one singular church community in a town like West Bloomfield would bring out that kind of a turnout for something like this, but if you have that kind of a team getting ready for the event, usually that indicates this is a pretty big day at United Methodist Church. Just how big, typically, in your experience, has the turnout been for this cookie walk?
Oh, goodness. You know what? I actually haven't counted the number of people that have walked through, but I mean, the first year that we returned to it in 2023, we ran, we had an excess of cookies, and we were like, okay, we need to make less for 2024. I think we were just so excited it was back in 2023 that we made so many and we had a lot left over. And then 2024, we ran out of cookies. So, it's hard to predict. But I would say we probably have around 100 people, if not more, come through the church on the Saturday of our cookie walk. And it's just a really great way to connect with our community. And as I said, I mean, we've had people email the church, Facebook message to the church, call the church, all asking like, is the cookie walk going to happen? And we're really glad to be able to say, yes, it is. That's happening again this year.
It is going to be happening Saturday, December 13th from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. at United Methodist Church in West Bloomfield. Reverend Elizabeth Hurd is with us on the Splash Live today to tell us even more about this special event. And you mentioned it's not just the cookies that are being available to people that attend this event. Are there some favorites that you find people flock to besides the cookies that maybe surprises you each year?
I think we have a really great variety of other things besides cookies. We have some candies. We have, like I said, the canned goods like the pickles, jams, bread. And I think it just depends on what people are in the mood for. I think the jams go really, really well. We have in the past have had cute little gifts for like hot chocolate packets and gifts to just give something small during the holiday season. So it just depends on what people are looking for. This year, one of our children at the church is also going to be selling jewelry that she's made. And all of it goes to benefit the church in some way. So we really do have cookies and goodies and a whole bunch of stuff for people to look at and take a look at for holiday gifts. And I do want to say we don't just we are a church, so we are celebrating Christmas, but we don't just specialize in Christmas goods. We are very well aware of the religious diversity in West Bloomfield, and so we also have treats for Hanukkah and other winter holidays as well.
And one thing that is supported by all different faith communities in West Bloomfield are some tasty treats and cookies, especially even if you had to go over to the church instead of over to temple or synagogue or anywhere else that you worship in the community. If you want to learn more about the United Methodist Church annual cookie walk, follow them on Instagram at West Bloomfield United Methodist, or join them December 13th at their church in West Bloomfield, 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. It's a busy day that day for holiday events. You can go right from the cookie walk just down the road over to the library for their Maker Fair, get your treats, get your gifts, and be all ready in one day for the holidays here in Greater West Bloomfield. Reverend Hurd, you mentioned connecting the community to the greater community outside of your church congregation. How do things like this help you connect with Greater West Bloomfield beyond your church doors?
I think it's just a really great way to meet our neighbors, and a really great way to just talk with people in the community. I mean, obviously being the pastor and the faith leader, and I introduce myself as such, people will talk with me and tell me, things that are on their minds or in their hearts. And that it's just a really great way to meet people who don't attend our church and get to know what their needs are. And it's just one of the many ways that we open our doors to our greater community in this sort of fellowship way. The other big one that we do is a trunk or treat every year around Halloween. And so it's just one more method of opening our doors and sort of giving our space away for a day for the community to come in and have a fun morning and walk through our building and hopefully be greeted by some very friendly faces. I don't think I don't think you would find anything less here, because this is a very friendly congregation and church. So it's a joy to connect with our community and get to meet people who we don't see on a regular basis.
And these are the kind of things that do bring people together in special ways during what often does feel like a special time of the year. Reverend Hurd, before we let you go, anything else that we should be keeping in mind as we get ready for your annual cookie walk?
So just a really quick note, we do have the capacity to take credit cards, but we prefer check or cash. So if you want to come on out, we're kind of old school. We like checks and cash. But we will have a way to for you to pay if that's not a method of payment that you have. And then also, it's not just the cookie walk that we have. This is one way that we open our doors to our community, but there will be information about all of the other Christmas time offerings that we have at the church. So, come for the cookie walk. And if you find our community to be welcoming and friendly and you're interested in other things that we're doing around the Christmas season, don't be afraid to ask. Somebody will be more than happy to tell you.
You can find more information on their website, westbloomfieldumc.org. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at West Bloomfield United Methodist, or join them at 4100 Walnut Lake Road on Saturday, December 13th for their annual cookie walk. That is happening again on Saturday, December 13th, beginning at 10 a.m. Reverend Hurd, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Glad to have you on. Again, more information on the West Bloomfield United Methodist Church's annual cookie walk and other events happening all throughout the year at the church. Follow them on Instagram and on Facebook at West Bloomfield United Methodist. A new era is about to begin in West Bloomfield Township as West Bloomfield Parks closes the Recreation Activity Center in order to begin the process of building the brand new Connect Community Center coming in just a couple of years. With that closure will come some changes for West Bloomfield Park staff, as well as for you as you engage in programming all throughout the year with West Bloomfield Parks all across Greater West Bloomfield. Executive Director Kelly Heyer joined Jake Schaff right here on the Splash Live recently to tell us all the key details of the incoming change, which will even affect our building right here at Green Media Center.
Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. That's a great intro.
Got to get all that information out there. Got to make sure people of West Bloomfield are informed. This is a very big development, but an exciting one as well, because you guys have some very big changes coming up. What specific programs and services are being moved, and where will they be operating during this transitional period throughout the community?
That is a big question, and I will try to answer it swiftly. So we offer all of our customer service out of the Recreation Activity Center. So our customer service operations will still continue, but our walk-in services, of course, will be moved to Connect Senior Center, and that's at 14 Mile and Farmington Road. So we've been in that facility since 2024. We opened in August there. But if you call the phone number, the 451-1900 number, it'll still be answered. You just might not know where that person is sitting. So traditionally, they have been answered the phones at the Recreation Activity Center. So behind the scenes, you'll still get the quality customer service that our residents are used to.
All right, that's good for everybody to be aware of. And it sounds like things at the Connect Senior Center maybe might be a little bit crowded, at least for a little bit, until things start to sort themselves out and everybody finds a good place to land. How would you say these relocations are going to directly affect daily operations and activities that already take place with the Connect Senior Center?
Sure, we've tried to keep the same template of the set schedule going forward, and we're going to be displaced for 2 years. And we'll get more into the timeline. So for 2 years, we're going to be living this new way of the schedule. We've expanded our hours for programming at Connect just to be conducive to evening and weekend activities. And we've also expanded our rental services for Connect. So traditionally, you've been able to come in and rent Marshbank Lodge, Recreation Activity Center, Drake Sports Park, Community Room, and now you'll see Connect as a rental opportunity on the list. Because we know at the Recreation Activity Center, we have 2 small rooms that people have used traditionally for maybe a baby shower or a family gathering or an HOA meeting. And now without those 2 spaces, we've tried to be thoughtful in, okay, what else could we offer the community? So we've consistently always worked with our instructors and our volunteers to bring recreational leisure services to our residents. And we're still going to continue to work with our instructors on setting their schedule. So in the winter guide, which just became live on our website, and you'll find the winter guide in your mailbox soon, you'll see where all the programs are taking place. And then when we get to the summer season next fall, you'll see some small changes to the schedule there as well.
All right, glad to hear that you guys have everything under control, that everything should remain efficient for the community. Everybody's still getting what they want to see. Now, I would imagine with a big move like this, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. Maybe, and like you said, people are going to be in kind of a weird position for a while. What steps is the Parks and Rec team taking to ensure continuity and minimal disruption for Connect members?
Well, we behind the scenes have a way we handle communication, and we ensure that our staff are staying knowledgeable and up to speed. And that is through just our internal technology and communications, our registration software, our meetings that we hold regularly with different parts of the staff. So we'll continue to have those interactions. As far as our residents, though, you can still look for updates in the following areas on our website, in our written publications, which include the activity guide, our senior happenings that come out a couple times a year, and then of course our monthly email blast. So if you are a Connect member and your membership is still current, you should be receiving a monthly email from Bernadette Hudgens, who's our senior services manager, and she gives most recent up-to-date information, just quick snippets of what you need to know for that month. And then, of course, if you walk into Connect, we have monthly flyers that highlight the calendar and the activities and anything you might need to know there. So we're trying to cover the bases if you're technology savvy or if you would like to see something in paper form, we've got you covered.
You got something for everything, and always doing your work to keep the community informed. I love to see it. Now, with the daily operations at Connect, it sounds like that a lot of the traditional events and regular events that take place at Connect will be continuing, but are there events with Connect that might temporarily be paused, at least until you've finalized the transitional period?
You know, nothing to my knowledge. We have had to relocate Meals on Wheels. That I didn't get a chance to update the community on. So if you are a recipient of Meals on Wheels, you'll see nothing change. But if you are a volunteer that drives for Meals on Wheels, whether or not you have a regular route or you're a substitute driver, instead of the Recreation Activity Center, you will need to go to the police department, which is across the parking lots on the Civic Center campus. So that is one logistically change. That we thankfully have a great partnership with our campus neighbors, and the police department have picked up that service. So our volunteers will still have a very easy way to get their supplies out to our homebound seniors. But as far as our other services, I can't think besides no rentals here at the Recreation Activity Center related to the senior center. But nature outreach, if I can speak on that for a moment, I can give a quick update on that. So traditionally, again, our naturalists are really clever, creative, and have offered up a monthly routine of offerings. And we've had to make some location changes and put a pause on Discovery Days. So those will be reinvented, and we might have an update for the summer guide. But until then, just watch for the email blasts or the information that is on your registration receipt for those changes, because when we're moving the animals during the 2-year when we build out the community center, we had not been able to secure a location for residents to be able to come in and use the nature room like they do now. But our outreach services, we're still going to offer that. So the naturalists are on the road, and that's always been a service that they've offered before. And so there will be, I'm thinking, more outreach appointments that will be coming your way if that's what the residents so choose to work with us on.
All right, seems like a lot of out-of-the-box thinking for a lot of these very well-known services that you see at the Parks and Rec Center, giving them a bit of a fresh coat of paint and making sure that they are still accessible for as many people in the community as possible. I love to see it. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Parks Executive Director Kelly Heyer, who's talking about the transitional period that's going to be taking place very, very soon on December 12th, when the Rec Activity Center closes its doors and we begin the transitional process temporarily to Connect Community Center. Now, one of the big things I'm curious about that might be affected from this change is transportation. How will transportation, accessibility, or facility navigation be addressed for seniors during this period?
I'm really glad that you're asking that question. That was the first group of employees to move, so they've already been reassigned to their new location. And so again, the phones will be answered in the same manner. Seniors are making their appointments for transit services. You won't even know that our scheduler is in a different location. As far as the employees, where they get their buses, where they clean out their buses, that's been relocated to a location for the next 2 years. And it went really well yesterday. I checked in with staff and they seemed to not even miss a beat.
All right, that's good that the staff is up to date and already hard at work going through this process. Now, with this process taking place in this transitional period, there's going to be a lot of different things going on, but do you think there's the possibility for maybe new community partnerships to come for the Connect Senior Center during this time?
Yes, we started these conversations a couple years ago, knowing and hoping that we'd be going in this direction. So we actually have been working very closely with the West Bloomfield School District, and they will be reviewing a consideration for the lease of the Green Media Center for our administrative staff, our naturalists, and one customer service representative. So stay tuned for an official update on that, but the West Bloomfield School Board is giving consideration for use of that space. And as you know, Civic Center TV, we're all partners and making sure that our residents not only stay informed, but what services we're providing to our residents are documented and are celebrated with the community, and then are saved for historical purposes. So we'll still be able to continue to work with Civic Center TV in that manner and still be able to provide really great services. I think we'll just all be on the go more, Jake, is what I'm assuming.
Well, I certainly love hearing that last little bit. And yeah, we love to help you guys out and love to get this information out there. Now, you said that this transitional period should last about 2 years. Are there any benchmarks or milestones that the community should watch out for in that time? And maybe some of the first ones people should be aware of?
So let's address the demolition of the existing building. And that was an extensive analyzation of the process and the actual building utilities and where it sits on this site. And it's a very complicated site because we're surrounded by nature. And the one thing that the community is gaining by demoing this building and shifting all of the building services to the east is the west side of the building now that has the outdoor natural play area, as well as the parking lot that we sometimes turn into event space. The half of our existing building now will be returning to green space. So we're gaining square footage on the west side of the building. We're calling it an outdoor plaza. And so we'll be able to house more polished events outdoors on the west side of our building. And the outdoor natural play area will be expanded and enhanced and a little bit more intentional in the programming. Right now, if you're out in our parking lot, you can tell it's a parking lot, that it was never really planned to have big community events on the west side of our building. So that's one thing that we're gaining by taking down this building. The other thing that we had to really analyze was the utilities and the HVAC and the roof and the quality of the windows and the doors and all the functions of how that connects internally, where the bathrooms sit. And we really took a look at how the flow would work if we kept half of the existing building, which would only be 4,000 square feet. In any way, shape, or form, we looked at that. And we took about 6 weeks to analyze the existing site. We just couldn't make it work. What we're ending up with is a 2-story, 48,000 square foot building, but it sits upon a roughly 25,000 square foot footprint, if you can envision that part. So we're not taking, like if you compare us to the library, that's a 1-story, 65,000 square foot building. Our building is going to be stacked on top of each other. So with that, the demo of this building is about 4 months process in the planning and the execution of it. So by April 1st, we might be just starting demo or wrapping up demo. That's one milestone we've been using is the April 1st date. But we'll break ground in the spring, and there'll be a 16-month construction period. And with construction, you know, Mother Nature needs to play her part in helping us along in this. We're really hoping to have staff inside the new Connect Community Center in the fall of 2027. That way we can make sure we're organized enough to welcome our first programs into the building and then expand all of our programming to the residents. So right now, the 2 dates I'll give you is April 1st of 2026 for groundbreaking and fall of 2027 for when staff will move back in and we'll start to reopen the community center.
Lots of work on the horizon, but all of this work is going to be worth it for all of these amazing resources coming to the community. I got one more question for you, Kelly. Where is the best place people can go to stay up to date on any updates with this brand new center and how they can stay informed on what's to come?
Oh, can I give you 3? So it depends on your time. If you are able to check your weekly email blast, that is the best place to get up-to-date, relevant information. And we are really intentional about how we send out that email. It is only once a week, and we are going to give you the top things that you need to know. So that way it's fresh, it's really current information, and that'll include sometimes closures, reminders, things in holidays, if something's selling out, or important reminders for the community. The next thing would be our website. If you go to our website and you go to the bonds page, we've been able to keep that page up to date and hyperlinking different articles or publications or even YouTube videos that you guys record for us. And then beyond that, the Park Commission meetings, those are recorded monthly, and you can go back and watch those if you're unable to attend live in person. And that's a great source of information because I do a update in that meeting during the staff report specifically on the community center projects. So that way, again, we're making it really easy if you have email or you're wanting to go search yourself for the website or check out a YouTube video on the Park Commission meeting. You'll be completely informed on all of the progress we've been making on this project.
All right, plenty of places to go to stay informed on all of the big changes coming to West Bloomfield. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
You're very welcome anytime. I love coming on, and you're a great interviewer. Appreciate the questions.
As Kelly said, you can keep up to date with the progress of the Connect Community Center project by joining us here on Civic Center TV for the upcoming West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission meetings each and every month. Those are broadcast live on Civic Center TV as well as on our website on civiccentertv.com. And look, it's a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, usually 6 o'clock usually when these are happening. So that's right in the middle of your evening. You can't watch live. You want to watch later on in your own time or watch sections of it. Scan that QR code on your screen as we speak. That will take you to our on-demand page, which has full episodes and segments of this show, The Splash Live, as well as other special programming live and live to tape throughout the community. And of course, those municipal meetings posted usually by the next day at 1 p.m. as they replay. And of course, they're always going to replay the next day at 1 p.m. and over the weekend in chronological order for the week beginning at 9 a.m. That's our show. I want to remind you that television that's close to home is always online on civiccentertv.com. Find all of our content on demand, as well as across our social media. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, and everywhere else you'll find us at Civic Center TV. Big thank you to our entire crew and to you for joining in as well. For our entire team, I'm Tyler Kieft, live, local, social. Thanks for tuning in to The Splash Live.